Okay, I'm gonna make another video here. This video is so stupid, but uh, it's not. Uh, I mean, I think this video is not gonna be um uh particularly hard hitting. But for some reason, I still want to make it because you know what's interesting that I have been thinking about. I don't know if necessarily shit is about making like a video like every like two videos every week. Like I'm thinking like nowadays maybe you have to make a video like every day. Shit, at least every two videos a week to stay relevant. So here we go. There's a chick on YouTube that like some algorithm, some YouTube algorithm or whatever suggested to me like this has got to be at least 2 3 years old by now. I'm thinking it's like at least exactly like 3 years old because I remember going on vacation and seeing that shit before I went on vacation. But anyways, getting to the description of it, there's this chick, Hobo Alley, right? She lives in her van, and now she's back in her Oscar the Grouch, fucking whatever. Um, so, um, I was thinking about some of the shit that she was talking about, right? And dude, one thing that popped into my head uh, instantaneously for some reason, well, not super instantaneous, but near instantaneous, was the idea that it seems to me, and I think I might have thought this in the past, but I never made a video on it. Um, Seems like nobody's gonna get this video. But uh, there's this idea of um, I don't think it like nowadays it matters because I think that Russia and the United States potentially with like especially like nuclear weapons or whatever you want to say are I could be wrong like unless like there's like something you know like somehow like the United States and Russia are like still super advanced countries. But dude, there's definitely this idea that she's directly attached onto the Chinese, which I gotta be honest with you. Like, let's say, but here's the thing, which is mind-boggling to me. To my understanding, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty fucking sure that she's like Indonesian. Okay, but here's the thing, dude. Assuming that she's like from Shanghai or some shit, right? Um, like she's not Indonesian. She's like Shanghaian or some shit, right? Um, the fucking idea is that well if she's Shanghai like technically what I'm saying doesn't matter like it only matters if she's Indonesian um but what is it what am I trying to say if she is this is specifically if she's Indonesian if she's specifically Indonesian there's this there's a potentially some sort of what is that? Is that like a double standard? I'm thinking there's like a double standard here. Whether it's with the United States. Now somebody whether it's with the United States or Russia, okay? And you might be like, okay, what do you mean? What I mean is that if she's attached onto the Chinese, which are like the big dogs in the room, or the elephant, or whatever you want to say, and I am just nothing or whatever, like that nobody cares about. The fact that if she is Indonesian and the Chinese, here's the thing, there is another potential example of what I'm talking about. There's a chick on Stereo, right? She says she's from the Philippines. Dude, I'm getting the vibe with both of these chicks, right? With both of them, okay? That for whatever reason, they're tied on to something higher than the Philippines, than Indonesian. They're tied on to like a something that surrounds them, and just they're in this cocoon of safety, whatever you want to say. Um Now, personally, I've traveled the world, so I know that these fucking old. It seems like the Italians, especially when you visit Japan, um, like this type of architecture that you see in like St. Petersburg or whatever you want to say. It's just not there. I don't see it, dude, unless they're like living underground or in on the moon or some shit. I don't see how the fuck like some Italian guy has created like um like I'm saying, unless there's something that I don't see how the fuck they've created like some higher fucking civilization or whatever. It seems that the Italians or the Mediterranean region has completely failed white people, and Asians have risen to like some sort of new fucking paradigm in regards to like uh the future of uh the human experience or whatever you want to say. But the point is this, is that um I'm picking up that, so if she is an Indonesian, right, you can still point to the chick, the triple deuce chick on Stereo. uh she said that she's Filipino, and that totally makes sense because she looks it. Okay, but the thing is that, dude, I get this general vibe. I don't think it's paranoia, like that she's attached onto something higher than like being Filipino. Okay, so the idea that I'm not attached onto something higher than being whatever the fuck I am, and somebody be like, you're not one specific thing, right? They're one specific thing. Yeah, but that's the thing. They're not Chinese, right? They're not fucking Chinese, okay? That chick is fucking Filipino, and the other bitch is Indonesian, okay? They're not Chinese. They're not Chinese, okay? Or whatever the fuck it is. I'm just gonna say Chinese again, cause I don't know what the fuck else. I don't know what else to say. It seems like the Chinese are rising to the top of the heap. You know what I mean? Like you can say, oh, the Korean. I don't think any of that shit fucking. They're not fucking. They're not fucking Chinese. Okay, so dude, like if dude, I don't see how the fuck that triple deuce chick is fucking Chinese. Like it's just She does not look Chinese. Like unless she's like in some sort of like underground city or some shit and she never sees the light of day. I don't see how the fuck she is even fucking a tiny bit Chinese or whatever the fuck you want to say. She's like American, uh, fucking mole Asian. Whatever the fuck. So, dude, that's not like, dude, the whole idea of like some sort of godlike Chinese person, there's no way that they're attached on to anything even remotely existing in that frame of mind, as far as I'm concerned. So, what I'm trying to tell you, so I think I made my point in regards to trying to describe them. What I'm trying to describe now, the idea that I am potentially part of Russia, I think is more ridiculous. Um, well, do you want to know something? You know what's interesting? You could look at this technically either way, to my understanding. Um, Maybe you have to go back farther back in time in regards to maybe Russia, but you might be able to look at it both ways. In regards to like some like obviously Ireland is not really it's arguable or whatever. At least to what I've seen, because I was actually physically in Russia. Now, don't get me wrong, I saw some Irish people there, but here's the thing: they were speaking English, right? So, um, from what I understand, like it's a little bit of a more stretch to say that there's some sort of attachment onto Russia than there is to the United States. So I obviously belong more, you would think, to the United States than I do to Russia. But what I'm trying to go there, like the idea that it could be either or, is the idea that my father is potentially could be somehow attached to, Russia or some shit. I don't know, like before the breakup of the Soviet Union or whatever you want to say. So, um, so that's basically what I'm trying to tell you. And but here's the thing. Like I said, like I'm more American. You would think I'd be more American than Russian, but do you want to know something? I'm one thing I am gonna say, based on this topic. Maybe it's a completely different topic, but there's definitely like this idea that uh, like Russians wants.
Upstairs, Brian.
Ru- dude, I'm making a video. Can you please leave me alone?
Okay.
Dude, there's this idea of what is it? I lost train of thought. There's like an idea that uh like there's like this exclusive ethnic background in particularly Russia. And dude, if Russia is like made up of specific Europeans, I don't see why the fuck you can't have all Europeans mixing into that that country, right? You can technically make an argument that all Europeans could mix into there, right? But you don't really see that. Like it's made up exclusively of um I don't know if this is still on topic, but it's made of exclusively Russian identity, not like there's like what is maybe in the United States isn't necessarily in Russia. Do you get what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that you could technically have pockets of new um, people potentially emerge and actually lead to some sort of maybe there are, but I just didn't see them. You know what I mean? But you could have something like some sort of pockets of people who could add to the cultural diversity of the country, and it could totally work. You know what I mean? So, as far as I'm concerned, like, because the idea that like Asians are more part of Russia than uh, Europeans is weird to say the least. Okay, because I'm pretty sure that Russian identity, even though it's specifically Russian or whatever, it doesn't mean that you couldn't have like it's it's a white identity. Do you know what I mean? Like if you think about it, it's a fucking white identity, right? So you wouldn't want some other identity to take over that fucking whatever the fuck it is. You'd let anybody in who has the same potential characteristics as you, even though they're not specifically in your ethnic background, is basically what I'm trying to say. I don't think that's unreasonable to say. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but so uh but that's basically all I have to say. And dude, I'm definitely noticing that they're potentially attached on like the women I talked about before. They're like attached onto some sort of Asian identity, and there is like this weird it's insane. I think it's insane. In regards to me, like there isn't this it's like I'm floating around in space, or there isn't a I'm not attached onto anything. There's like this weird detachment, and like it's like an unacknowledgeable existence. Like it's the weirdest fucking thing ever. It doesn't make any sense. Like, how the fuck are they attached onto something potentially, right? And I'm just existing in a vacuum or some shit. That's like if anybody, dude, I don't know if that has to do with like blacks or Asians or something, or like some other factor in regards to like a a global mixing, but you can maybe understand where I'm trying to go with that, because dude, that's the only goddamn thing that I can come up with why someone like me would be completely detached from any sort of family unit besides my own family. Do you know what I mean? That shit is dude, I think that shit is really fucking weird. And I'm not gonna pick any particular side. Well, I probably lean more towards the American side than anything. But do you understand where the fuck I'm going with that? Or maybe the European side, whatever the fuck you want to say. But that is strange to say the fucking least, okay? And I think I made my point. It took a while to make it, but I think maybe people can understand where I'm going with that and where I'm coming from, which is oh yeah, and I want to say one more thing. Dude, it seems that these Asians, if you have to ask me, it's like they're stuck in the fucking 90s. So, dude, why are all the Simpsons like every person on the Simpsons, why are they yellow? That shit is weird. Do you want to know something? One thing I am gonna say to the Russians, just to let you in on a little clue, whatever, before I end this video. Dude, I get this idea that Putin, he wants to be responsible, like everybody, well, not just Putin. You know what's interesting is that it seems like everybody wants to be responsible for me not succeeding at life. But I definitely see like a like a like a facial expression in regards to like Putin wanting to put that through and make it real more than potentially other people. But what is weird is if all the people on the Simpsons, they're yellow, right? They're not red, right? They're not red. You could have technically made all the characters on the Simpsons red. Like if you really wanted to. You could have made them red. And you could have put horns on all their fucking heads. Do you know what I mean? But you specifically made them yellow. So just like I'm leaning more towards the European or American side than the other side, I'm leaning more towards the Chinese being responsible for this shit than like the fucking the Russians for whatever reason. Now, you might say to some shit like to me is that they're equally responsible. I guess you could say that, but it seems to me like if everybody is yellow, you kind of and not only that, dude, I saw a commercial regards to Asian racism and to do with COVID, and that they said something crazy. I thought it was fucking crazy. Like they said, it's along the lines of the same shit that I'm saying with like the Asian racism to do with COVID. It was like they're trying to attach themselves onto the idea that they need this to exist in to perpetuate some sort of what is that integration into American society. Like they need me to die. I got that vibe for some reason. I don't know what else to say in regards to that. I got the vibe of like integration into society, which is it makes no sense. I don't know exactly what else to say in regards to that commercial that I saw. I think it was a Google commercial, but yeah, you want to know something? That it seems to me like that's something that would come from me more than like a shit ton of Asians. So with like communities that they can talk to and like bounce ideas off of and whatever the fuck you want to say. I don't have anybody that really talks to me. It's like everybody makes fun of me because like I'm some sort of trapped soul, and potentially I'm David Koresh. So yeah. That's just fucking weird. So those are my ideas. I'm thinking that this shit is completely fucking ridiculous because you just print or make whatever, however much money you need to be generated, and you're taking my shit away from me, right? Like, you actually need it, which, I'm pretty fucking sure that you don't. Dude, if you have an army of people that can produce whatever the fuck you need, let's say you have 500 people that you can get together and build whatever the fuck you need to build. Why the fuck do you need to take shit away from me? That's probably what you fucking assholes should be asking yourselves. And another thing is Asians are stuck in the fucking 90s. So that's it.